Good morning once again. I'm setting up. I just showered. I forgot to get bell peppers. And shampoo. I keep needing to get shampoo, conditioner, and soap. What are you doing? Come on. Lay down. You thirsty? Alrighty. So where did we leave off yesterday? The outside of the summarization that I did, we left off with me being consumed by the darkness after I got mentally raped by TikTok for 5 minutes. And I was thinking about that in the context of yesterday's stream, like the entirety of yesterday's stream, you know? Kind of how, like, I let the sounds of the world take me. And, yeah, it's interesting. I think I need to eat. I really wish my brain wasn't so foggy right now. I may heat up some pot stickers. Maybe. Something weird happened last night. And I'm gonna talk about the whole thing, but like I just want to talk about like one specific thing that like um I don't know. I can't think right now, man. Cannot think right now. So last night, I'm just gonna let that simmer for a bit. Last night, something weird happened. After the TikTok thing, I felt a little weird, just with all the noise going on around me and everything, and like the revving and everything, and then I heard like a revving like come here, to like through my driveway, and I thought it was my mom. I'm real. I thought it was my mom, and I got really scared. I'm like, please don't, please don't put me through a situation. Please don't, please. And I heard like a shake, and I was still freaking out. I thought she got home, but it was him downstairs. He was trying to like let me know that it was downstairs and not up here. And I was still freaking out. I was like, why is this my life? And then he turned on like his water faucet, and I don't know, like stop me again. It's a strange situation to be in where we are all like there. I don't know. It makes me uncomfortable. But yeah, I don't know. I do not know. Because there is something to be said about all the noise around me all the time, you know? What happens if you add pepper to onions while they're caramelizing? And something else happened last night, and I don't even know how to bring that up because like I want to like show you like the position I was in and everything, and I have to like lay down. It's gonna be a whole thing, okay? It's gonna be a whole thing. But do you think? Oh, I was about to sneeze. The pepper. Oh, do you think that like I'm crowned, right? But like there is something to be said about like size, you know? Like I'm in the shadows, you know? So like it's an interesting dynamic between like the two like let's say there's two parts of myself right now for this thing. The part of myself that is king, and then the part of myself that is like holds the ideal of my wife and stuff like that, right? Um, can those two coexist? Because like, well, I was at Fuller's, right? Um, the cash register was the person at the cash register was a lady, and the like manager guy was like just like sitting like standing behind her like this, just like watching her, like staring down at her, and like I'm just thinking, you know, like insofar as like me being king, puppeteering the world, revving going on in the world, all that kind of stuff. While I, you know, like the ideal is like, you know what I mean? then I was thinking about the revving, what message was being portrayed, and I was saying like I don't know enough colors, I don't know enough shapes, all these things, and then that blue car, like, well, the blue car was before that, I think, but it's like an exposition on the noise and where like democracy without the rhythm um, breeds, you know, like like I said, like I like purple, I've always liked the balance between two, but when one gets like gone by the wayside, then it's you know um, especially when we're talking like there was a pizza truck that was passing by, like the idea of letting nature just go as it does is. And at the same time, there will be another thing that I'm going to talk about. So just keep in mind, like it's all a thing, okay? But like, I'm just gonna go to the couch to do that because I need to like position myself in weird ways. Should I put my phone on low power, like power saving mode? Do you think that'll help? Maybe. When I said that thing about seeing who in the seeing who in the audience would like react to the 5 minutes of what had transpired. I was just sitting there, and then my phone died, and I didn't realize it. And I had another thought, and I was like, you know what it feels like? And I turned over to my phone, and it was dead. And I got really upset that my phone had died. And I was just like sitting in that sternness. And as soon as that happened, sirens blared outside, and I thought like maybe like the audience was like trying to tell me like this is what it feels like to like I don't know, I don't know, but maybe I don't know. Like that's just my thinking on it. They probably hate me. Hate me today. For you. So I think for the most part, we're gonna cook this, and then we're going to go to the living room and talk a little bit. Then we're gonna go to the room and we're going to post all of the videos from yesterday because I need to do that. Maybe chop them up and post them on TikTok. And then from there, we'll just cry for the rest of the day. I feel like I should put the rest of the onion in here, but you know, when I was a little kid, before I knew about the internet and all that kind of stuff, I had this one album that I used to listen to all the time. It's called Pachamama. And it was mostly like pan flute music. From this one Native American tribe. And I've always looked for it. I've always looked for that like throughout the years I always like randomly try to like find it. But I think it was like I don't know, I've never been able to find it. I was just thinking about that in terms of general dispositions of people, and how people are chosen within the organization for this. I don't know. Oh yeah. Yeah. Ay, ay, ay. You know, you know, um, you know, I was just thinking about. So I grabbed a plate, right? And this plate is the brand is Tu Studio or Studio Two, which is your studio. And I was thinking about the concept of nature, and how like this place was like essentially set up for me, I guess. And then I was thinking about how like as I was serving the eggs, I was like, well, I'm not like doing this all by myself, like the eggs come from somewhere. Um, and then I was thinking about the fact that like I kind of really like the fact that I can just walk to a store, like I've always talked about walkable cities and how it's nice to just like have like access to these things without having to like drive. Um, so like it's not like I'm like asking for like a return back to like completely like old times or anything like that, but like at the same time, like walking, communing, like it's I don't know. Something I was thinking about. I know I've been making the same thing every day, but like I said earlier, like everything kind of tastes like cardboard. And when I make this, I like the flavor texture, but outside of that, like it's like it feels whole, like food with substance. It's not a cookie or something frozen. Like this is dripping. I don't know. I don't know. You guys think I can eat a second one? Honestly, I'm kind of hungry. I don't think I'm gonna finish this one, but my stomach's still pretty empty. You know something funny that happened? I was coming up to my stream, and I saw that my sweater was like this, like it was really up close, blood and everything, and started like get in my head about it a little bit because like I didn't like that message being portrayed, I guess. And then when I came back to the live, it said that it was restricted because it wasn't in line with policies. But I haven't said anything, so maybe it was like not in line with my own policies or something. But that was just funny. That was a funny thing. I don't think I'm gonna finish that burrito. I should have made some gyoza. Mm-hmm. Wait a minute. Now that I think about it, it may be that I get my ratios wrong. Cause like the first burrito was like super thin, and this one looks like it's chunky. Looks like it's gonna be chunky. You know, yesterday, after the day that I had, I hello, hi, yes, I hear you. What do you want? I'm getting to it. After the day that I had, I didn't really. I was like shut down, you know, like emotionally, just like. And my dog wanted to. She wanted to cuddle. She wanted to play around, you know. And I was like, I was not I was not up for it. And then I just like I was just sitting there at the edge of my bed, and she like comes up, and I just like start petting her, and like just like everything I was feeling so far as like the pain. It was nice to share that, you know, like nice to like feel connected. But I was completely shut down, and honestly, like right now, like I'm kind of there as well. Like I'm not really feeling too much. I'm in my head and all this stuff. So oh, by the way, I did find out. I did think of another one outside of. It was feeling, thinking, wonder, and sense. I was thinking of sense while I was in the bathroom, while I was in the shower. I like that one. It might be the same as feeling, but I don't think so. Maybe. That was a lot. You know, streaming is an interesting. Streaming is an interesting. What would you call it? Not platform. Model. I don't know. But like, when I said that was a lot just now, um, I wasn't like. Usually, like when I'm by myself, like I'm thinking, like I'm thinking, but when I'm streaming, like instead of the thoughts, instead of processing the thoughts, I'm like enunciating it, and yeah. I got a squircle on my right and a circle on my left. One way down. Those avocados are so big, half of one was enough for 2 burritos, which is crazy. All right. Before we go, this guy right here. Alrighty. Maybe. All right. It has been said in the past that Nazism is a feminine trait, mostly by me. Something strange happened last night. It was the end of the day. I was trying to go to bed. I was watching a video, and again, it all felt wrong. It all felt like I'm trying to find like this moment, you know, and it just trying to find like a semblance of tenderness or something like that within this. And as I was watching that video, the guy, again, uncircumcised. Everybody's uncircumcised always. The lady had brown eyes, and it was like a little robotic. Like there was like a sense of, but like it was like incomplete, you know, like everything about it was like not enough, you know. And once I was done, I was like laying in bed, and I was just thinking about the domesticated human. I was thinking about like what does it mean to be a domesticated human? What does it mean to be robotic? When I say like I've said in the past, the thing, like the idea of like humanity being like some sort of like adulteration of something real, like something, you know. And I was thinking about that, and I was laying down. I was in bed like this, because I usually when I'm going to bed. Okay, bear with me. Okay, I usually go like this. Okay, like I like to have my arm like under me, kind of like supporting me like this, and I had my fist like this. Okay, and I was just thinking about it. I was laying in bed, and I was thinking like, and I was sitting like this, and I was just thinking about like the domestication of humans and what we've lost, and how this world is like oppressive and just you know, everything. And then like I realized like these things that I'm thinking about, the world doesn't agree with, you know. And then yeah. And then when I was, okay, second, give me a second, let me see. And then when I realized that the world doesn't like agree with it, I like got scared, that like my hand was like open, you know. And like I like jerked awake, because like I remember that people were watching me, like they're constantly watching me all the time. And so like I like jerked open, and like turned to my hand, and I was like, is it open? And I was like, no, it's closed. It was closed. And I relaxed a little bit, and then as I was laying down, thinking about the domestication and all that kind of stuff, and how like I would hide myself, I a train like blared, just like ever so like slightly, just like a hey, you know. And it was kind of like sharing in that moment, you know, in that like in that thing that we've lost, in that discontent, in that all of it. And then I couldn't like figure out within my cognitive dissonance if it was because I was happy over the fact that it was closed, or whether I was scared that other people would see that it may have been open, and that's what, you know, whatever. But and there was so like there was a train that was just like ever so slightly just like honking, like, and it was like a moment, you know. And we were having this moment, and like it was like I was kind of stressing about it. I was like, what is this? And then another train like blared, and it was like the exact same thing that had happened internally was shown to me like out in the world, and when I say that it feels like being able to tell my side of the story in an abusive relationship, when I say that like the oppressiveness of the system, when I say that um, Nazism is a feminine trait, like what does it mean, like um, and I don't like labels, okay, um, just because like the ideal of Nazism within the world that we live in today is one of division, and the, like the ideal that I strive for is no borders and all that kind of stuff. So like I don't like attaching myself to this Nazi white supremacist movement as it stands today, when I think that it should be like capitulates to nature, so I think that um, if there is like a corrupted version of Nazism, like is there a platonic ideal of it, and this like I said, labels are one of those things that like I prefer not to. um, I like to remain untitled, just because within the world that we live in, the oppressive state, you are not allowed to be, like I'm over here in my own little world, walking to like in the morning, walking to a grocery store, and just like just it's, I don't know, there's beauty in the simplicity. There's we've made too much noise, I feel like. And therein lies the contradiction of having to make noise, like me speaking to like bring this to light. And it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. But yeah, that was the big thing I wanted to talk about. I try to avoid talking about Nazism just because of how um, everybody is, without like being able to like actually understand things. So that's why I showed this guy before I came here, because like this scene is like his heart got taken away. And it's important to remember that we have that, like yesterday after everything, I was shut down, up until the moment where I like connected with my with Mika, and she reminded me, and it was nice. There's a flea on my Kahlua. like all these concepts of like white and black and shapes and everything, like it's all frustrating. I think that's pretty much everything I want to talk about. Oh. You guys want to see some of the paintings that came with the house? I have no idea which one it is, so I'm just going to show you, okay? I like this one. I'm keeping this one. That was nice. Yeah, that's perfect, honestly. This goes directly to what I was talking about. This is like exactly what I was talking about. Like there is, let's say there is something that was lost in time and we become machines, you know? And through this, we continue to try to hold on to this. We try not to lose it as we slowly become more and more and more entrenched into the system, you know? And it's, I was not expecting that. That was nice. Yeah, I'm keeping that one. That one's going in my room. Oh, do you guys want to see? Well, you guys know what my big painting is. It's just there's no room for it with that headboard. And honestly, I was so distraught with the way the world was going that I just didn't want to deal with it. It was like it felt like a slap in the, yeah. But yeah, I really like that. I think that's gonna be like its own little. I'll cut that out and make it its own thing. Um, all right, let's go upload things and maybe talk about other things. Just I don't want to be in that room. I get chirps. I get. I don't know. It feels confining. You know. You know. I bought a house back in 2022, and I did not use that house at all. I used one room. I stayed in that room, and I delved into a magical world that is slightly terrifying. Very terrifying. Now I'm like, I don't want to be in that room. Why is math? Why is math a thing? Can anybody answer me that? So vaping on stream. See, the thing is, do I be a good influence or do I be a good influence? Whatever. I kind of like the white backdrop with me in the middle and like all dark, cause like it's like the soul speaking to you, you know. I'm pretty sure my landlord is here. He keeps on like banging. Is he a metaphor for the oppressiveness of the state? Thank you. Appreciate that. There was as soon as I asked that, he was like, pop. That's so dumb. Oh. This is how I feel all the time, okay? Do you get it or you don't get it? Do you get it? Please? Do you get it? This is how I feel all the time, okay? All the time. All the time. also like this a lot of times. You know, I just hold it right in here, you know, at the same time. Like the complexity of being a being, you know? Like, what's it like to be shackled by a system that you're forced to perpetuate? Well, I mean, I understand. Actually, there was um, there was something I was thinking about yesterday. The curse of knowledge. Why are there siren blaring? Um, yeah, they were shackled by a system, and basically like built me into a person outside of the system that understood the system, cursing me with the knowledge, and now I'm cursing others with the knowledge. I don't. Mm, mm. You know, I've said for years that a rising tide raises all boats, and in the context of like biblical flooding, he's just gonna be knocking all day, isn't he? Like the concept of the flood stresses me out because everybody pisses me off. And if that decision is left to myself, that's not a good decision. Like everybody pisses me off. Myself because I can't shut up. The system because of self-perpetuating. People because humanity. I don't know. And then it's like who created the humanity, and it's like, is it the system? Possibly. And then, that's the whole other rabbit hole. But then there's the idea of like getting rid of the system and then nobody knowing how to operate anything. I've been restricted once again. I have to go to the restroom, bathroom. I was just thinking about how I'm talking about Platonic ideals and how the world will receive that message whilst I'm stuck here. Hence the sirens blaring. Like it's an interesting thing to get stuck within the dichotomy of the system as it stands, and then to be scared of the system perceiving you, and then sirens blare because they caught you know. But you know what I was thinking about? The death scene from Harry Potter, in which he goes to defeat Voldemort, and he dies, and then he gets sent into like this room of like all white, and in that room of whiteness, like there's like a realization um, within the audience of the fact that the ideal is white. I hate these words. And then in that scene, you see Voldemort die. Voldemort die. The part of Harry that is Voldemort die because it's all white, you know. And so the concept of whiteness is interesting, is what I'm saying, you know. Insofar as like this system, the sirens blaring, when I think about these kinds of things, like the contradictions therein, nature, it's nature. You know what I could do? I could set up my live to be my back facing camera and then set up a mirror just right there so I can talk to myself and ignore everything else. I kind of want to take a nap. Ugh, I'm sleepy. Although, I don't know why, but my bed is so incredibly hard and this couch is very soft. I may start sleeping on here. One second, please. Hamburgers. Hamburgers. Oh, yeah? I don't know if you guys heard it, but my dog farted. All right. This is what it's like when I'm trying to sleep, by the way. I'll lay down and I'll start thinking, and then the cars will just like rev as I'm going through thoughts. Maybe we should talk about the fantasy of it all. Um, like within my position within this structure is strange because, like I just said, like they'll hear my thoughts and they'll rev as I'm doing it. And then when I said that, I was like, go ahead and rev, and he revved. So like it's very strange. Very strange. Like there is a complicity in perpetrating the fantasy. And there's a siren blaring outside now, so I don't. Okay, so a car revved outside and a siren blared. Hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna sit with that one for a second, and then I'll be back. Yeah. This might be actually a good explanation of that. So I have this pen, right? This cart. Could be seen as like a metaphor for, like I've always said that weed is like natural because it grows on, it comes from the ground, you know? I've never really liked alcohol. I'll drink it, but I've never liked the taste of it. Um, um, so you have a cart, right? Let's say that this is like a metaphor for nature. The cars blaring outside, all of that, you know. The trains, all of it, all of it. And then we have this, a vape. Nicotine, electronic, both electronic, but Um, this is nicotine, let's say. This is the system, completely computerized, robotic, and all of that. Now, the brand of this is called King of Kings. Um, so, if nature is a train, if nature is a train, um, then that fantasy that I'm talking about, that complicity, that all of that is within the idea. I don't want to say it's within the ideal. That's like kind of like taking the Lord's name in vain. Um, I it would strive towards that ideal more so than this. Um, the King of Kings, as I was worrying about all of this, sirens blared outside, and it could be said that the king is subjugated by the system as it stands today. Yeah. I got that. I always get that brand because I used to call myself a kingmaker. I like to make characters and stuff. So like I would use that as like my brand. Um, so maybe the train was blaring because it didn't like my analogy, and my thing about being complicit in the fantasy was actually correct as a capitulation to nature. I'm just a guy, a very scary guy, but a guy. Yeah. I'm not doing anything. It keeps restricting me. I remember I had a discussion with my brother last year, something like that, and I told him I would always side with nature. It's so hard. It's so hard because I forget what nature is. Like within the confines of this structure, I'm thinking that I'm hearing a hammering, right? And then I'm hearing a revving over here, and I'm like, okay, nature, the oppressiveness of the state, and then I was having this discussion with my brother last year, yeah, and I was like, I will always side with nature, and what does that mean? I mean, like I'm here trying to tell you guys about everything that I found out. Um, I killed myself again. Oh. Uh, why do I do this? Oh. Because I hate everybody. Oh. Fine. It all makes sense. Everything in the world makes sense. Of course it makes sense. It all makes sense. All good. What's that one lyric from It's either J. Cole or Kendrick, I can't remember. But it was like, are you doing this to blank or to facilitate growth? And I don't know. Oh, everything hurts. It always hurts. It always hurts. You know what I feel like? You know what I feel like right now? I feel like Lane when she's like connected to all those wires, and it's like there are no wires. Like it's like it's just there, and it's a lot, and it's the dangers of that connection is that I lose myself, you know? Like you forget who or what. And that might be like part of like what the shackling is, that like I don't want to like bring people into, you know? I want people to like be able to remember and be themselves as they commune with the world. I was just like, I need a shower. You know, after I said that I wanted people to be themselves, I was hiding under my blanket and I was feeling, and a car rev past me, and I thought about what I said, that I want people to be themselves, and I was like, is this me, you know? And I just don't want to lose myself within it. It's just, yeah. And then we go back to the fantasy of it all. Okay? Um, if I were to lose myself within this, and the system continues, and the oppressiveness of the state continues, and you know what I mean? Like I'm ushering in the oppressiveness of the state by by acting as king towards yeah. I'm gonna throw up. That's what's gonna happen. You know why I take so many showers? Because I want to feel warm. I'm always cold. I'm always like wearing a jacket or a blanket or sweater or something. But like this is like no wires, you know? And like sometimes I just want to like just like sometimes I just like let the water just like run down my back just cuz like it's warm and You know, sometimes I think like okay, so like okay, so here's what I was thinking. Okay, the there was a car revving, and then there was a like truck after him, like a semi truck, and then like a little like honk honk, I think, which means like I'm like bulk sending out all of the things that I'm like talking about, right? And then I said that thing about like feeling wanting to feel warm, and I was like thinking like that, like I was thinking of like kind of like the silliness of sending something like that out into the world. And then I was thinking about why was it silly? Like why is it silly for something like that to be sent out into the world when we all feel it? Like we don't. No, no one ever speaks about these things. No one ever speaks about like the hurt, the pain, like like we push it down. We always push it down, and no one speaks in. Nobody. I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes it's important to be silly, you know, because it's not silly. It's quite serious actually. Like we are made to feel small, you know. I can't remember the entire train of thought as to how that I got it led to that, but that sentence just by itself. Um, yeah, I was thinking about how like within like media and stuff. I was thinking about like the show Alien, and I was thinking about how I would watch their podcast, or I would like listen to their podcast, or like read it sometimes, and they would like make me feel bad for feeling these things, you know, and like you are made to feel small for being. I'm gonna go shower. I'll see you guys in a little bit.